Getting jacked taught me 3 insanely valuable lessons about women that I wish I knew when I was younger. This first lesson is a harsh truth that you need to accept if you want to date 10 out of 10 gorgeous girls. So when I hang out with girls, I like to get deep and meaningful. I don't want to have just very surface level conversations. So one of the things I'm always trying to find out for myself and you guys, so we can all become the best versions of ourselves and get the hottest girls, is what are girls actually attracted to? So whether I'm just hanging out with a girl, whether I'm sleeping with her, I'm always trying to ask these sort of questions, get the conversation a little bit deeper, and see, well, one of the questions is like, what do you find attractive in a guy? What is your type? Like, what makes you actually want to get with a guy or date him or whatever it is, right? But where does that baseline level of attraction come from? And one thing I've noticed amongst all the gorgeous girls is that they are fat phobic. It is not that they are going to be mean to you if you're fat, but you're not going to qualify to date them if you're fat. So if you want to get your foot in the door, and with all the other things that you need to have developed, the first most basic thing is you need to be in good physical shape. Your physicality is going to be one of the most important attraction factors when it comes to getting gorgeous girls. I mean, logically, just think about it. If they're the best versions of themselves, if they're in the healthy body fat range with a nice ass, good tits, they take care of themselves, they're in the gym, they're trying their best to be as presentable as possible, why would they settle for someone who is anything less? In the world we live in now, where it is ultra competitive for guys, there are dudes out here who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with a six-pack, with the Lambo. They have so many options. Why are they gonna go for a fat slob when they have all these options out there? So you need to be presenting yourself as the highest value possible, and being in a good physical shape is gonna be the number one way to do that. So it's really simple. Just get down to 8 to 15% body fat, be lean, and you will have so much more success. This is the key driving indicator of attraction that I've noticed amongst every single girl, is they want to be with someone who is equally as attractive as they are, and the number one thing that you can do to control that is to simply be lean and build muscle. And if you want to get the girl of your dreams in the next 3 months, book a free coaching call with me down below. This second lesson is actually really interesting and goes against what we just said a little bit, but I need you to hear me out until the end to fully understand this point because it has a ton of value. So I was just in Sweden, and one of the realizations I had was that I'm going out in a blazer with long pants. No one can really see my physique. No one knows if I have muscle. The blazer covers it up a bit. Everyone's kind of wearing the same style. And unless you were some jack dude, no one actually knows if you have any muscle. So why am I saying this? Well, because one of the girls who I got with this past summer, she didn't even know I had a six-pack until I was in the bedroom with her and I took off my clothes. And she was like, holy shit, you got a six-pack and you're really ripped. And I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, wait a second, she didn't even know I was big until now? What does that say, right? Well, what this is saying is that there's so many other factors that are important that are really gonna help you out. And that's gonna tie into lesson 3, so stick around for what those important factors are. But if you were just in a good lean shape, you can be getting plenty of girls. You don't need to be absolutely jacked. So no matter where your starting point is right now, whether you have a little bit of muscle but you're lean, you're more than capable of pulling plenty of girls. A lot of the guys in Sweden who go out to the clubs, they don't actually have a lot of muscle. Very few actually are training and getting big. There are a lot of just like skinny guys. They're just that like skinny type of aesthetic look. Like the type of guys that smoke cigarettes and are lean. That's kind of like their thing, right? Not all of them smoke cigarettes or anything like that, but that's kind of like, if you can just picture it, like that skater boy type of lean look. A lot of them have that, and they absolutely clean up. I'm telling you, some of these dudes who have no muscle but they're just skinny will pull the baddest girls. So I'm not discouraging you in any way, shape, or form to put on muscle. Right now, I'm progressively overloading. I'm trying to go for PRs in the hypertrophic rep range every single workout. I'm doing this for me. But one thing you need to realize is that muscle is not gonna really get you that many more girls. And when we go into lesson 3, I'm gonna tell you what's really gonna get you the most amount of girls. But building muscle is obviously gonna help out. It's gonna make you look better on the beach. But no matter where your starting point is now, you're more than capable of pulling plenty of girls as long as you're lean. As long as you're in that 8 to 15% body fat range, you can have tons and tons of success with girls if you apply what I'm about to teach you in point number 3. And this takes us to the last point that's gonna help you get more girls than any amount of muscle would. And I wanna compare two phases of my life to really demonstrate how truly powerful this is. So one was when I was around 18, 19 years old. I basically had the same exact physique that I have now. I'm sure gaining a little bit of muscle over time, but I pretty much look the same. There's not much different. Yet at that phase of my life, I did not get girls. I was not pulling girls at all. I only been with a couple girls in my life, and my success was extremely limited. So that's where I was starting out, having a six pack, having a decent bit of muscle, but not getting any girls. And now fast forward to really any point after 3 years ago in my life. So after I was turned 20, I went through this transformational period of my life where I really worked on myself, doing holistic self-improvement, developing my mindset through meditation, gratitude journaling, reading books, going out there and pushing myself, expanding my comfort zone, doing things that scared me, developing my courage and confidence, and then really just bringing my best version of myself to every single interaction that I went into. So after 20, I had pretty much, once again, the same exact physique, but now I was cleaning up. No matter where I go, I can have crazy successful girls because of this. And then I added on learning sales. So after 20, I started taking on different sales careers. I had my own sales business previously, and sales and communication really took things to the next level. But as it is, just developing courage, confidence, and your mindset as a whole is gonna be extremely valuable for you. And that's the last point. This is what I learned more than anything, is that having a good body is valuable, and we've gone through why it's so important. But if you don't have confidence, if you don't have courage, that's one of the most important factors. If you don't just have that winner's mindset as a whole, and if you don't, and most importantly also, have communication, then you're seriously gonna struggle to get girls no matter how much muscle you have. So these are the most important factors that you should be developing. You should be developing your courage. And how do you do this? By doing things that scare you. If you constantly do things that scare you, you're gonna be leveling up the skill of courage. The same thing with confidence. Anytime you feel a little insecure, a little shy, a little nervous, go ahead and do that thing. That kind of ties into courage a bit, and they kind of go hand in hand. And then really, communication is what's gonna take you to the next stratosphere. See, if you go up to a girl and you're the best version of yourself and you demonstrate courage, you can get her. But if you can communicate on top of that, you're gonna have so much success. So communication, game as a whole, like people talk about game. Game is just being a dynamic communicator. There really is no such thing as game beyond just being a great dynamic communicator, being able to really communicate effectively in a way that girls like, being charismatic, being charming, being magnetic. This is what's gonna get you so many girls. So those are the most important factors that you really need to develop. Of course, the other aspects are important. Like we said, you can't be 35% body fat and pull 10 out of 10 models. But if you're lean, if you're working on building muscle, and you have the mindset and the communication, you will have more girls than you could ever imagine. So that is everything that I've learned about girls throughout my journey of getting jacked. And if you want help to attract the girl of your dreams in the next 3 months, going through all the pillars that we talked about, physical transformation, mindset development, and communication mastery, then book a free coaching call with me down below. We're gonna get you absolutely dialed and get you the girl of your dreams in the next 3 months.